Hi everyone, I'm Shauna Tarosa, RAYAC's Executive Officer, and this is my desk. In this monthly video series, I continue to highlight those questions and frustrations that I hear frequently from our agents, and so try to provide a little bit of education so we can help to have a much more harmonious home buying season here in the spring market. One of the biggest frustrations that I hear from other listing agents has to deal with agents not following showing instructions. So I wanted to go over some of the 5 biggest complaints that I receive from buyers agents who are not following the showing instructions in the MLS. So number 1 has to deal with the 24-hour notice. Most listing agents who put on there that they need 24 hours notice before a showing are not doing that to frustrate their buyer. They're doing that for a very specific reason at their seller's request. So there might be an issue where there are tenants who are occupying the property and they need to give the tenants 24 hours notice before the showing occurs. Or it might be a circumstance where the sellers need additional time to get out of the home due to their family circumstances in order to make sure that the home is prepared to have the best showing possible. So please be respectful of that 24-hour notice requests that are in the listings, and that please know that the listing agents are not doing it to frustrate you. I know you want to get your buyers in there as soon as possible, but there are really valid reasons why they're putting that request in the MLS. Number 2 is a no-show agent. This can be extremely frustrating for buyers. So they've done everything that they can to make sure that their home is ready and looking their best for that showing, and then no one shows up to do the showing. So they've taken time out of their schedule to make sure that the showing is their house looks their best for the showing, and no one ever shows up. And worse yet, no one ever calls to say that they're not coming. Listen, I know things come up and you're working with a buyer and they're seeing multiple homes, and that first home that they see, that's the one that they want, and they're going to put an offer in on it. And the other 4 showings that they had scheduled for that day, they're going to cancel because they found their perfect dream home. That's all well and good, but as a courteous and as professionalism, pick up the phone to call that listing agent to let them know that you will not be completing that showing that day and the reason why. It's extremely frustrating for sellers who have taken the time out of their schedule to get their home ready and then never hear anything from the buyer's agent who just doesn't show up. Number 3 biggest frustration is showing up without an appointment. Even if the property is vacant, you still, as a buyer's agent, need to have permission to show the property. So if in the MLS it says property's vacant, go ahead and show, then yes, that is your permission. But I would still, as a courtesy, contact the listing agent or the listing office to let them know that you're going to be showing the property that afternoon. But please do not assume that because the property is vacant that you can just go in and show it. That is not the case. In some of these properties, there sometimes needs to be a waiver that is signed before you, as a buyer's agent, can go in and show the property. So showing up to a property without an appointment is a violation of our lockbox rules and regs. So make sure you're getting an appointment and permission for all of your showings that you're doing for all properties, irregardless if they're vacant or not. Number 4, this is a big one that I hear frequently. Buyer's agent shows the property, and when they leave, they don't lock the doors and they leave all the lights on. I get this complaint so often. I can't understand why it's happening this much in the marketplace. So if in the rare circumstance that you are showing up to a property and the doors are unlocked and all the lights are on, then I guess by all means, leave the property that way as you left it. If it were me, I would send a text and say, hey, just wanted to let you know when I got to the property today, all the lights are on and the back door was not locked, so I didn't lock it because I thought there might be a reason why the seller left the back door unlocked. But in all other circumstances, you should be taking the steps to secure the property. You should leave the property the way that you found it. So make sure you're locking the doors and turning off the lights in the helps to secure the property and find it the way that you left it. Number 5, the listing agent, the buyer's agent who did everything that they did correctly and they still almost got bit by a dog. So this has happened. There are sometimes miscommunications between the showing centers and offices and the listing agent. I recently had a buyer's agent who told me that they scheduled a showing on a property. They had received the permission from the showing center. They showed up at the property, and when they opened the door, there was a very angry dog who almost took a bite out of their leg. So what I was told happened is there was miscommunication between the listing agent and the showing center. The listing agent wasn't aware that there was a showing that was going to happen. They never notified their sellers, who never put their very protective dog away and secured him while the property was going to be shown. So please be sure that you're double checking with your instructions with your showing center and communicating those changes with the showing center to your sellers to make sure that you are taking the appropriate steps to ensure that everybody who is getting the permission, that they are actually having that permission, so that they can enter the property safely and not have the concerns about dealing with the overprotective dog. So that's my story for today. Please feel free to contact me with any questions you ever have, and I hope you have a productive day.